Welcome to the present. If you just joined for the first time, do me that kind favor by striking a like on the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Now, let's discuss Aaron Ramsdale. See, what has gone wrong with society these days? So, when your children who, by no force, decide to participate in competitive sports, and they lose their shirts. Suddenly, parents are not coming out to moan and cry on podcasts saying the manager has not treated their children fairly. Make it make sense that these days, at elite sports, where your position can be usurped anytime. You have to be at a high performance level every time to maintain your shirt. We are seeing parents, mothers and fathers, crying about the fact that their sons and daughters have been dropped. Aaron, you usurped Leno. Did we see Leno's parents going on podcast complaining about that Arteta has been unfair? So you can usurp Leno, but when Raya does that to you, your parents are crying about it. I'm very disappointed. We're told he had character. We're told he's a tough man. He's going to compete and get his shirt back. Is this character when you go on podcast moaning, complaining, telling them have you lost your smile? Who cares about you losing your smile? See, Arsenal wants to win. And we're going to select the best man for the job. And if Aaron Ramsdale is not the best man, it's Raya. Raya is going to maintain his shirt. If you want that shirt, compete. Compete. The hypocrisy in this targeted narrative towards Arteta is the fact that same Ramsdale is second choice goalkeeper for the English national team. Where is the complaint? Where is the media outcry that, Ramsdale should be number one for England? No. But when it comes to us now, because Arteta is Spanish, let's say what it is. Arteta is Spanish, so it's easier to bully Arteta into submission. So he can be second choice in England, no problem. But if his second choice is Arsenal, there's a problem. He has lost his smile. Who cares if Ramsdale loses his smile? Who cares? If he's good enough, compete and reclaim your shirt. And if you think you can't do that, at the winter transfer, you can put in a transfer request or the summer and leave. I can't believe this. You were happy to displace Leno. There was no hula baloo. There was no media frenzy. Leno's parents or custodians were not going to a podcast to go and say Arteta have treated unfairly. Now that you're being displaced, suddenly Arteta is the worst manager. He has displaced you unfairly. I'm so disappointed with Aaron Ramsdale's parents. I am so disappointed. Like, it is elite sports. If you feel some type of way and you think you want to leave, you can do it quietly. I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to speak out, but we know how the media is going to spin it. We don't want this harmony at the camp. We are trying to compete for the league and win some trophies. If you're actually part of the family, you should understand. So the likes of Smith Rowe, right? Likes of Rhys Nelson, Trossard, who don't play all the time, should their parents or guardians or siblings go to all kinds of podcasts to call Arteta out? This is selfish. This is entitlement of a different level, especially the fact that this same Aaron is comfortable being number 2 to England. So let's look at it. Is Pickford better than Aaron Ramsdale? It's debatable. Ramsdale played for the bigger club. He competed for the league compared to Pickford, who came to Everton, who barely survived relegation, right? But he has no problem with that. But when it comes to Arsenal, suddenly he has been dropped this season. He's losing his head. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The hypocrisy of the English media and English players. That's why sometimes I don't just rate English players, because they get overrated in the press, and the press continue to push a narrative and agenda because they're English, not because they merit to be in certain situations rather. They just want to be pushed to the top because they are English. No, if you're good enough, you have to earn the right to play. not sentiment. You going on all kinds of podcasts to whip up sentiment will not change the fact that Raya, in my opinion, objectively is better than you. Raya is better than you. You might not like it. It is what it is. If you think you're better than Raya, prove it. Reclaim your shirt. Guys, let me know what you think about this unfortunate commentaries and media talk by Aaron Ramsdale's parents, because I'm very disappointed. Yes, it's painful. I understand. You want the best for your children. But guess what? Raya has parents too. When you want to compete at highest level, these are the kind of things that comes with the territory. And you have to accept it too. Especially, like, the hypocrisy is so smelly, right? You displaced Leno 2 years ago. We had all the smile. And learn how to suck it in. Now that you're being displaced, you can't take it. How life can be very interesting sometimes. Life can be very interesting sometimes. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this the unfortunate incident about Raya and Leno, especially Raya and Leno, about Ramsdale and Raya. Unfortunately, I'm so disappointed at the fact that his dad, Ramsdale's dad, went on that podcast to try and call out Arteta. Like, you don't need to do that. You cannot tell Arteta how he wants to handle the team. You have never been a manager. You should not be saying how Arteta has handled it. It's unfortunate. By what metric? By what metrics? Based on what? Have you ever been a manager? You are just being overly emotional because Ramsdale is your son. Let's not forget, Raya to has parents, right? So let's not get overly selfish. If your son or your children are as great as they are, let them compete and let's see who comes up on top. Like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bells. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.